Hey, what's up, everybody? It's John Schilling, aka GP13, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite topics, which is how fucking easy it is to win sports betting. I hear a lot of people, they come to me and they say, hey, like, I only have an hour a day that I can devote to sports betting. But the thing is that you only need an hour a day, and that first hour you give sports betting each day is incredibly valuable. And then there's people who are like, I don't even have an hour a day. So to those people, I say, like, I would log in, I would go into your phone and go into your usage. If your usage for all of your social media apps adds up to over 1 hour, then bam, I just got you that hour. I have a very weird, but I think correct theory about time spent sports betting and money returned. Take a look at this graph that I made, and this basically maps out my theory on the time versus return that you get from sports betting, right? The x-axis of this graph is just hours per day spent on sports betting, and the y-axis is just results, right? That could be dollars of EV generated, average dollars returned per day. The message of the graph is how much you move the results per hour during the day. So if you look at it, the graph's basically split into three parts. You get a steady return of results for the first 2 hours you put in, right? Then the graph kind of plateaus up to the fifth or so hour, and then it spikes back up and kind of continues that pace you saw. So let's talk about hours 1 through 2. Hours 1 through 2 are super important because of two reasons. Reason number one, winning sports betting is still super easy. You can fight me on this one. I will die on this hill. It is incredibly fucking easy to win. All you have to do is take advantage of deposit bonuses and promos. And if you don't punt away money betting your own opinions, you will win 100% of the time. Just facts. The second reason is the tools for that 1 to 2 hour a day group are insanely good. You know, my own betting feed, GP Picks Plus, I think it's the best tool for that group. And if I didn't think it was the best, I wouldn't have made it. I want to be able to come on here and say I definitively believe this is the best top-down tool. You could use unabated, spank odds, OddsJam, whatever it is. You can get a lot of value. You can save so much time in your process of finding plus EV top-down bets. A good tool, knowing the right hours, and then just grinding, putting in 1 to 2 hours of focus work. That's all they need, right? That's all you need if you want to be in that group. And it was specifically this group I was thinking about when I made GP Picks Plus. Like, yeah, you could use it for 5 hours, 6 hours and just sit there finding bets all day. But it's really just for people that are going to sit down at the prime times and just crank out bets and then fuck off and do something else. Because I think that's valuable in betting. And I think the most devastating part about losing sports betting is people spend extra time and they lose money. This 1 to 2 hour peak plateau time of plus EV betting is going to be able to allow you to have another job, spend some time with your family, and have a very solid life while also milking the sports books of the easy money, right? So this is that first 1 to 2 hour, we'll call it the easy money zone, right? So what happens on the plateau? I have this opinion of the plateau. It might be controversial. People will click around sports books. They will kind of sit there, not efficiently getting bets in, clicking around feeds, switching odds screens. And I think a lot of the work that 2 to 5 hour a day group does in sports betting can be accomplished in a focused 1 to 2 hours, right? If you're spending under 5 hours a day, and this is where kind of the spike comes from, is you're not really going to be a professional bettor and you're not going to be building something of scale. So that's kind of the cutoff there. But at the same time, like after 2 hours, if you're like a top-down solo bettor, I don't think that your next 3 hours are returning anywhere near the hourly your first 2 are. So I think like a lot of that could be tightened up. And if you're just deliberate about what times a day you're sitting down at the computer and you know exactly, I'm using this, betting tool, I'm going to open up all my sports books. I have this down pat and I'm just going to grind out EV, get a good percentage of my bankroll down across a bunch of bets, and then just log off and, spend time with my family. I think like that's so achievable. You don't want to get caught in that no man's land where you're kind of spending too much time on it, not getting the extra rewards, and then starts to eat into other areas of your life, right? So I really think that you want to be in one of the two camps. You want to be the 1 to 2 hour assassins or you want to be the pros. Like, don't get stuck between. The second spike is what happens when you start basically go full time and spend focus hours on building your process, getting more outs, whatever it is, like just building your operation. That's that second bucket, full-time pro, right? That's beyond the scope of this video, but what I do want to talk about is how to max out your hourly in that 1 to 2 hour range, so that for the people that want to make some money but don't want to give their entire lives to this, they can still have betting be a positive part of their life. So what you have to do is you have to figure out when you need to be at your computer, and more specifically decide, am I doing 1 hour a day, 1 hour a day? Am I doing 2 hours a day? Am I maybe taking off, Mondays and Tuesdays and focusing, whatever it is, like where the most valuable hours are, both each day and each week. So this is what I'm going to recommend. And it's going to sound so dorky and so boring, but I promise. It's like, is it dorky to get to play an extra round of golf a week? And is it boring to go out with your friends? Because if you do this, the time it'll save you can be used on other fun shit. The piece of advice is build a schedule. So what you need to do is you need to know exactly when certain lines post, when they start to move a lot. Are there special events that cause a lot of line movement? NBA bettors are kind of locked into their computers a couple hours before 7 p.m. games start, right? Because lineups are going to start to get released, and that's going to cause a lot of different odds movements. And when there's more movement in the market for top-down bettor, there's going to be more opportunity. NFL is going to be up all week, so you need to figure out when each market's released each week and what you're seeing more value in. There are hours in sports betting that are probably worth 3 to 4x what other hours are worth. Time arbitrage. Always try and time arbitrage, right? And that's like, if you're in betting and you like to arbitrage, don't stop at arbitraging sports bets, arbitrage your time too. Okay, and then the second thing, and this is just to max efficiency, is to know what your process is. Is your process you go into Spank Odds and you chase steam? Is your process you go into GP Picks Plus and you just fire it, fire the recommended bet size for all the alerts? Is your process you live arbitrage using OddsJam? Whatever your process is, know it, define it, and don't get shiny object syndrome and start kind of bouncing back and forth between odds screens, between strategies, or whatever it is. Go in, execute, and then get the fuck out. Go do something else. What it means is you max your earnings and then you do other fucking fun shit instead of staring at a screen all day. As a professional sports bettor, I stare at a screen more than you should. So either go all in on it or go all in on the short time frame where you can make money and then enjoy your life, right? So you have to go in and be like a military operative. You're like, I'm going to be here at 1900 hours. I'm going to sit at the computer, I'm going to open up Spank Odds, and I'm just going to start fucking soft books or whatever it is. This got unhinged. But the point is, you have a plan. It saves you time, and by saving yourself time, you increase your hourly. A great quote was, I read a great quote the other day, and it said, the only true test of intelligence is getting what you want out of life. So it's like, you can use sports betting to get what you want out of life, then you're crushing it, right? If you do 1 to 2 hours a day and you are arbing and doing all sorts of low-hanging fruit strategies and people on Twitter make fun of you, who the fuck cares, right? You're making the money and then you go do something else. That's where you want to be. Anyway, I hope this episode kind of clarified where you sit on that curve. And then I would make the pitch to not get stuck in that middle section where you're not getting a ton out of it, and either kind of jump one way or jump the other way. And if you're going to go to the 1 to 2 hours, I hope it's kind of giving you a bit of a blueprint of how you're going to go attack it and make it super efficient, right? And if you decide to jump into that 1 to 2 hour camp, I really believe that you should give GP Picks Plus a try. It's the only robust price alert bet feed that's using both line movement and really dynamic bet sizing, where you don't have to think too much and you can just follow the guidelines there. Unlike the other bet feeds that are giving you just like the standard DVIG logic, this is, in my opinion, a higher value betting logic, which incorporates line movement instead of just snapshot of market price as it is, right? And then doing some weighted market average. The price at which something trades is more important than the price at which it's quoted, and that is baked into the logic around GP Picks Plus, and it's going to make you more money if you want to be in that 1 to 2 hour camp. So please sign up, links in the description. We're running a September promotion that I think when this comes out, we'll have a couple days left in it. So check it out over at goldenpants.com. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see everybody on the next episode.